You can take steps to protect your family by keeping ladders away from power lines and telling kids to avoid utility equipment. Transforming how we think about safety. It's how we're all connected. Get more tips from Colorado Springs Utilities at csu.org.
We also have this 11 breaking news alert. The former El Paso County Undersheriff turned herself in tonight. This is Paula Presley's mugshot taken tonight at the Pueblo County Jail, where she just posted a $10,000 bond. She's out.
She and former El Paso County Sheriff Terry Makita and a former commander were all indicted today. There are serious allegations from kidnapping to false imprisonment. We're waiting for the other two to turn themselves in.
In September of 2014, it was made public that the CBI opened a criminal investigation of former Sheriff Terry Makita and others. Shortly after taking office of sheriff, I was contacted by CBI and committed to cooperating fully with that investigation.
Tonight, sources tell 11 News the former sheriff is in Alaska right now, outside of Anchorage. Our sister station stopped by his home there for a comment. The woman who answered the door told our crew to leave, and she had no comment. 11
News is digging deeper. We have the most complete coverage of this latest twist in a long-running scandal. We'll start with 11 News reporter Danielle Kreuter, who joins us now live.
She has been combing through the indictment papers tonight. She's live now at the El Paso County Courthouse. So, Danielle, what do those papers reveal about why these serious charges were filed?
Well done, and Diane, according to the papers, all of these charges stem from two different events, one involving a deputy who is accused of domestic violence and another involving an investigation into a missing internal affairs file for our current sheriff, Bill Elder. The indictment papers for former Sheriff Terry Makita, Paula Presley, and John San Agustin paint a controlling image of the past administration at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Extortion, tampering with a witness, kidnapping, and false imprisonment charges all stem from their alleged actions after a deputy was accused of domestic violence. They allegedly forced the victim to tell investigators that she was the aggressor so the accused deputy could keep his job. She eventually was arrested and even taken to jail, even though other deputies said it was not lawful. The alleged victim happened to work at the company that provides medical services for the jail. The documents say Makita and Presley threatened to terminate the $5 million contract with the company if they didn't fire an employee who they believe coached the victim. The final charges of official misconduct are connected to treatment of some sheriff's employees. The court documents say two sheriff's office employees were accused of taking a missing internal affairs file for Bill Elder, who was running for sheriff at the time. Both employees eventually resigned. The papers say the undersheriff eventually admitted that the missing file was in her home the entire time. Now, the reason San Agustin was indicted is because he is the one who reportedly ordered for the domestic violence victim to be arrested. Now, if convicted, all three could potentially face several years in prison. Reporting live in Colorado Springs, I'm Danielle Kreuter, KKTV 11 News.
Really interesting new information, Danielle. Thanks very much.
So, who is John San Agustin? He's no stranger to 11 News. We've interviewed him several times in the past about high-profile cases. We sat down with him in 2006 and in 2008 about the JonBenet Ramsey case. He was one of the private investigators hired on by the family years ago and was working pro bono for them.
11 News reporter Elisa Chin continues our coverage now. She's live at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office.
So, Elisa, these are the first criminal charges Makita has faced after facing several accusations during his last year in office.
Yeah, Diane, a lot went on here during Makita's final year in office. He faced allegations of sexual favoritism among employees and abuse of power. Without giving an exact reason, he abruptly retired early and handed things over to current Sheriff Bill Elder. Former Sheriff Terry Makita's fall from grace began in his last year, 2014, when his emails were made public. That's when it was discovered that he reportedly sent this selfie to his alleged mistress. an El Paso County Sheriff's employee. He was also accused of inappropriate behavior with the undersheriff and another sheriff's employee. After this all broke, the El Paso County Commissioners unanimously voted to ask the sheriff to resign 6 months before his term ended. During the following months, Makita sent out this internal video recording to his staff, apologizing for his behavior.
I come before you embarrassed and humbled by the events of this past week. I engaged in inappropriate behavior in the past. When confronted about that behavior, I denied it, thereby compounding the problem by not being candid.
Through the turmoil, his wife remained by his side. During the final month of his term, he abruptly handed in his retirement letter 2 weeks early. He sat down exclusively with 11 News anchor Betty Sexton to clear the air. During that interview, he refused to talk about allegations of sexual harassment or the creation of a hostile work environment.
Want to write me off, go ahead. But is what I would ask is at least give a chance for the truth to come out, because I think what comes out is going to be very different than what I was accused of.
Now the former sheriff is facing several felony charges. There's also been a civil lawsuit filed against the sheriff and undersheriff for workplace retaliation, and at last check, it is moving forward. Now, we've reached out to the sheriff's employee's lawyer who filed that lawsuit to ask them about these new criminal charges, but we have not yet heard back. Live at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Elisa Chin, KKTV 11 News.
Okay, Elisa, thanks very much for your update as well. Now, we sent out a push notification when this news first broke earlier today. You can stay on top of 11 breaking news alerts. Just download our free app. If you have your tablet or your phone with you right now, why not do it now? It is free.
It's time for our Super Memorial Day event. Come in.